support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps you protected when shopping online. Get $5 to try it now by using promo code QZZ2J.
It's BenjiLock. Is that the right way to pronounce it?
That's the right way. Yep,
All right.
You got it right.
All right, give us the... Well, Scott wanted to jump in here, so go ahead.
Long-time friend, but for those who don't know, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, no, but I mean, first of all, it's great to be back. I mean, it's been a couple years of struggles with COVID and all that, and finally you can see that the energy at CES is finally getting a little bit back.
And it's correct. It feels like CES.
It feels like CES, so I'm excited again to be part of you guys' journey here too. You know, we know each other from the days that I started at Eureka Park. So basically, BenjiLock is the world's first traditional lock with fingerprint technology, which means that you can open it with the ease of your fingerprint, but also with a traditional key.
Awesome.
And that same technology of this padlock, we've brought it into a travel lock, regular lock, sport lock, bike lock, door lock. So it's been great, you know. And the beauty of CES is it's all about innovation, but it's also about giving. And this year, BenjiLock, we partner with Canon, and we're sponsoring tomorrow a big CTA Foundation stage with a lot of up-and-coming startups. So we will have a big presence there tomorrow afternoon.
Giving back to where you started.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
You know, and when you first came to CES, how big was your booth? Was it 10 by 10 your first
10
year?
by 10, the smallest at Eureka Park.
Yeah.
And did you put it on a credit card?
It was probably, you know, that's a really good question. It was a mix of credit card and loans from friends. And believe it or not, you know, now you're bringing me back to those days that, holy smokes. I remember we took a enterprise van and we packed it out with friends, family. And that's how they actually helped me out, set up the booth. We all stay in one room, 5 of us, crunched up because money was tight.
That's right.
But the opportunity is there, and I'm a believer that you have to take a risk.
So, you know, the story I like to tell, and it's really kind of on a whole different scale, is in the early years, I walked into this booth of this little brand new company called GoPro.
Yep.
And they literally, I think they had a 10 by 20 at the time. That was just their little, and signage wasn't great, and you know, and it was, and here they are, we're showing off the first GoPro, and they didn't get a lot of attention at the show, but there was a few of us, and now I don't know if they're here, but they probably got a 100 by 100 foot booth.
Yeah.
They probably got a massive, you know. So I always like to see stories like this where, you know, you start out small and then you're coming back, the product's grown, you've seen success, you've got distribution deals. And you know what I like about this product too? I have gotten some locks before from other companies, and none of them, what if the battery dies?
Right. That was the thing. So that was his plan right from the beginning. When Marissa interviewed him in
2017.
17?
It was just a prototype.
He had a prototype, but his whole thing was it needed to have a key.
Yeah.
It couldn't just be biometric because batteries die. Things happen.
I have a
so
lock.
having the physical key was always an important part of his
I
thing.
have a lock from a very well-known big company that I had to because the battery died, and there was no way to go doot 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 doot, and it was not a fingerprint one. It was one of those where it had a number face on it.
So the door lock. So the door lock does all 3. So it does bio, it's got a pin, and then when all else fails, there's still a key.
Yep. And you know what? One of the biggest hit that we had is also the bike lock. I got to send you guys the bike lock. That's been a great hit. Easy to use. And, you know, the whole thing with BenjiLock, too, is that it has a story behind the brand, so a lot of people really relate to it because it's kind of like, you know, we're all entrepreneurs here. We're all making it happen, and it's always, you know, always good to give back. And that's the reason that I'm here this year, because I feel like, you know, I started downstairs in Eureka Park, and I see a lot of startups up and coming, and they're battling to try to get out there. And I think what we're doing tomorrow is going to be super cool. We partner
Yeah.
with Canon, but also the CTA Foundation,
Nice.
which is kind of like, age and disability and
Yeah.
giving back to the community. And, what a way better way to do it, I guess. So
Yeah,
And
and
it-
it's a different experience for you at the show this year because you don't have your big blue booth.
Yep.
You're not an exhibitor, but you're a CTA partner this year. It's a very different experience.
I know, tell you the truth, that I'm so used to the juggle. Oh my God, stressing out,
Right.
packing out the booth and all that, and making it happen. And then the show starts, and your adrenaline now has to go through the roof because
That's
you
right.
have set it up, and now you got to exhibit.
Now you got to be on.
In this case, it's kind of fun because now I'm actually able to enjoy the show for the first time.
Right.
So I actually like that this year.
And one thing too, just going back to product for a second.
Yeah.
I hate going to the gym, putting my stuff in the locker, and having to have a key while I go work out. I want my keys to stay in the locker. I want to come back to the locker and unlock it.
100%.
So you know what happened, Todd? This is interesting. So the idea, back in 2014, I started going to the gym at night, and a gentleman left the key inside the locker, and he locked himself up. And when he comes back from his workout, he's like, oh, man, my key is inside. He's like, what do I do? So he calls the manager. The manager comes in, and he's trying to use like a bolt cutter, a drill, a hammer. Finally,
Oh my gosh.
they ended up opening it up, and there's the key. And I'm looking at all this, and I'm like, wow, how
Yeah.
come there's not a lock that you can open with your biometric, but also with a key? And,
Yeah.
so sometimes
Gotta be a
ideas
better
happen.
way.
Yeah. And, now you're the whole thing of forgetting combinations
Yep.
and leaving the keys inside. And you know, so it all works out. I think there's always a different use case depending on the
Yep.
person and all that. So it's exciting.
Yep. I've used it on lockers in and out of gyms. It's perfect for
And
a
even
locker.
just shed locks.
Yeah.
It is something you don't worry too much about. I'm assuming you can probably put more than one fingerprint on these, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
your kid, the significant other, that way,
Yep.
and then you don't have to worry about put the key back somewhere where it's stashed, where it's going to be there if
A
you need
backup.
it, and then you just use your finger on it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. No,
Yeah.
and the beauty of it, too, is that, again, I'm not saying that in the future we're not going to be connected, because connection is always key. Our phones are kind of
Yep,
like our
yep.
keys these days.
Yep.
Yeah.
But to this day, BenjiLock has been non-connected. So every product is still very personal.
Right.
Because of that whole privacy issue. That's a big thing now.
It is.
So we have a good sideway on that end, that being non-connected, very private, it's up to you and up to 10 fingerprints. So it's very personal.
Right.
So I like that aspect of
Yeah.
it. So I think we have a little bit of an advantage versus the whole connected world.
I've done product reviews on a couple of fingerprint, deadbolt, pin, whatever, all deadbolts, and the one that is on my front door is yours because it's not connected. Because I didn't want there to be some security glitch that somebody can send a Bluetooth command and unlock my door. Well, then why the hell do I have the lock on the door?
Yeah.
So I've probably got four or five deadbolts sitting in my garage, but the one that's actually on the door is the BenjiLock one because it's not connected.
Oh, that's interesting. No, that's exciting to hear, But yeah, no, I'm excited to be here. It's a great show. It looks like the energy is back. You guys are back.
Yep.
And
Well-
what better way to kick it off, right?
So is your event, where's that actually going to be at tomorrow?
It's going to be at the startup stage in Eureka Park.
Okay.
So basically where BenjiLock started, we're now decided that partner up with CTA. They have a big event with up-and-coming startups, and it's a whole pitch competition. We also have Albert Lawrence. I would love to bring him over here. He's one of the hosts for CBS Innovation Nation. He's going to be hosting the show. So I think it's going to be jam-packed up, energetic, and people that see me every year at CES, they're probably going to see the version of myself very upbeat up there, because I really want to feel like I want to give back to where it all started. So I'm excited about it.
I was talking just before you guys came on about a couple of products that had left here, and you can always look at a product and you think, are they going to be here next year? Especially if it's a prototype.
Yeah.
And you hope they will, but you know that they've got a big road decline.
82%, I think, was the stat we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
that
and
don't make it.
And it's one thing, and when you dump a bunch of cash, and it's usually family friends, and then you're like, oh man, let's hope the right person walks by.
Please.
So that's why we like to talk to people that are bringing stuff to market too. Sometimes we kind of roll our eyeballs a little bit, but sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't.
And sometimes we get truly excited about something.
Yeah.
I've been so happy to be part of Robbie's journey, from non-working prototype in the
I know
to Shark Tank to.
But it's true, like what you were saying, Todd, that downstairs in Eureka Park, especially, there's so many companies every year, and that's a good stat, 82%, huh?
That's a number that I've heard a couple of times around CES on startups that don't make it out from year to year.
And part of it, we could go into a whole hour of conversation.
Yep.
When I'm walking by booths, if I can't tell what you're doing within 3 seconds, and I say they need, we should hold a vendor 101.
A whole session about it, right?
Just to what you need to do to get my attention, what you need to get, because if
Jamie was just downstairs, I should have pitched it to her.
I
didn't even think about it.
If I can't see what you're in, I actually do this with my own company. We do, like we're getting ready to do some new trade show designs. I'll run that through a focus panel. I'll say, here's the booth design. What do you see in 3 seconds?
I like that approach.
And what are you going to stutter, step, or stop? Or are you just going to keep on trucking?
Right. Because when we, especially in Eureka Park, right, the booths are all the same. There's a little sign.
Yep.
And you walk down. There's got to be something to catch your attention. Either you have to be actively, look at me, coming over the table, or there's got to be something in the booth that says, this is the one.
That's right. And if I stutter, if I do a short stutter walk, that's your sign to grab me, because you've got
something.
Got me almost, and I'm almost ready to turn my head. So there's a whole art to it.
Yeah.
There's a whole 101, to close it out on that, because when you're exhibiting downstairs, and I keep telling that, I'll give that reminder tomorrow to a lot of these companies that, hey guys, like you were saying, there's time, effort, money that goes into this, and if you actually believe in what you're doing, you should just not be just in your booth sitting down and that's it. A lot of companies do that. They don't.
Yeah. And signage is cheap. Yeah. You can do a pull-up for $150, a good one. And all I need is 3 bullet points. Boom, boom, boom. This is what I do, and I'm going to stop.
And maybe a picture.
Something.
Make it colorful. Make it a good color. Certain colors attract. Blue, red.
If I have to read, I'm gone. I'm not going to stop.
Yeah, if there's more than 20 words, it's too long. We're out.
Too long.
It's
It's
way
true.
too much.
It's true. Well, let's see what happens at Eureka Park. Let's see what's the next big thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll be searching too myself.
BenjiLock.com, right?
Yep. Yeah. So anyone that is interested in BenjiLock, BenjiLock.com, and we're available at your nearest retailer: Walmart, Best Buy, Home Depot. And to close it out, please come to the startup stage tomorrow. We're gonna be there between 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's a CTA Foundation pitch. BenjiLock and Canon are sponsoring, and it's going to be a really cool show. So
awesome.
Yep.
Congratulations on your
success.
Likewise,
Todd. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it,
Thank
bud.
you for having me.
Yep.
PLUGHITZ rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.